Guys, when you have $10,000 invested in the stock market, it grows slow. But when you have over $100,000 or more invested in the stock market, it grows fast, really fast. Now, why is this? Well, in this video, I'm going to talk to you about 6 reasons why this happens. And I want you to stay tuned for number 6, because number 6 has nothing to do with the numbers, but it's really the reason I'm sitting here on this video in front of you right now. So let's go ahead and get into it. The very first reason your wealth and your net worth go crazy after the first $100,000 that you invested, and this is the most obvious and elephant in the room reason, but it's simply compound interest. Now, compound interest, guys, is just interest that you earn on top of interest you've already earned, right? It's just interest piling up on top of interest, et cetera, et cetera. That's all compound interest really is. As your investment balance grows, the effects of compound interest become more and more significant. And with a larger principal amount, the gains from compound interest or returns on your money invested will absolutely accelerate the growth of your investment. So there's the power of compound interest. It's huge, but it sort of leads into number 2. Now, the second reason your wealth goes crazy after the first $100,000 is simply the mathematical growth. If you have $10,000 earning 10% interest per year, after the first year, you gain what? $1,000. But if you have $100,000 earning 10% interest, then after the first year, you gain $10,000. Just mathematically, when you're dealing with higher numbers, it means higher growth. Now, in those two scenarios, the percentage of interest is the same, 10%. But again, the sheer dollar amount that we're talking about, the difference between 10,000 and 100,000, makes the growth that much higher exponentially. Now, let's go to number 3. The third reason why your net worth or your investments go crazy after your first $100,000 is just the power of consistent contributions. Regular contributions. If you consistently add to your investments on a regular basis, those consistent contributions end up adding up. And after reaching your first $100,000, your additional contributions on top of that, combined with the compounding effect, will create a more noticeable and much faster growth based on these regular contributions. Let's look at this chart, and I'm going to try to explain it right here. Now, guys, on this chart, we're going to look and see how long it takes you to get to each $100,000 mark after that first $100,000. So in this scenario, by investing $10,000 annually at a 7% annual rate of return, that's your interest that you're going to get, we're going to see how long it takes to accumulate $1 million. And in the meantime, we're going to see how long the interval is between each $100,000 on the way to $1 million if you continue to invest just $10,000, getting a 7% interest annual rate of return. So the first $100,000, as you can see on this chart, guys, is going to take you 7.84 years. But the second $100,000, as you continue to invest $10,000 every single year, getting that 7% average annual rate of return, it's only going to take you 5.1 years to get to the next 200,000. Now, to get to the third 100,000 or to get to $300,000, it's going to take you only 3.78 years. And as you notice, guys, these dotted lines, they start off a little far apart, but as you go up and up and up and you continue to invest and you continue to put the same $10,000 in every year, the time frames between these dotted lines, between every $100,000, get smaller and smaller. So by the time you get over here to $600,000 to $700,000, that $100,000 is only going to take you 1.87 years. But remember, the very first one took you 7.84 years. So this chart is just sort of to illustrate, guys, that if you keep investing and you keep getting compound interest, the time it takes between every $100,000 is shorter and shorter and shorter. Because after $100,000, your very first one, that's the longest $100,000 it's going to ever take you. Anytime you want to go up $100,000 from there, it's going to be less and less time. So while it took you a whopping 7.84 years to get to your first 100,000, by the time you get $900,000 invested, it's only going to take you 1.35 years to get $100,000 more from there. And so basically, guys, this means it's faster to get every subsequent $100,000 after your very first one. Not to mention that as you earn money over time, you make more and more money, you'll probably have more and more money to increase your investing. And so you may be only putting in $10,000 a year to get that first 100,000, but by the time you get $900,000, you're making more money. And guess what? You're probably going to be putting more in than just $10,000 every year. And you may some years get a higher rate of return than 7%. And all of that accelerates the growth once you get over the first $100,000. Guys, if you're getting anything out of this video, do me a favor and smash that like button below. Also, please share this video with your friends, your family, and your network of people. Now, let's get back to the video. Now, the fourth reason your wealth goes crazy after the first $100,000 is just simply market cycles. See, markets tend to go in cycles, right? Cycles of both growth and cycles of contraction or shrinking, right? Over time, guys, if you just stay invested through all of the different type of various market conditions, the ups, the downs, this is going to lead to significant growth in your investments, in your portfolio, in your net worth, right? Just by being consistent. And also it means dividends and reinvestments, those occur too. As your portfolio grows, the dividends and the potential for reinvestment of those dividends also increase, which can contribute greatly to the compounding effect that we're talking about. Now, the fifth reason is simply economies of scale, or what I like to call the advantage of just size. When you get over $100,000 of your money invested, everything gets bigger, and therefore the potential for growth and more advantages, more efficiency, and more exponential growth opportunities for you as an investor, right? You got more capital when you get over $100,000 invested, and therefore you might have access to better investments, lower fees, access to exclusive funds or exclusive types of investments, and just better financial information, right? Now you got a larger portfolio, and you now have perhaps access to other various types of investments, which can lead to a more stable and potentially higher returns for the investments that you currently have. So everything opens up to you when you got more money invested, right? Economies of scale, or the advantage of size when it comes to your money. Now, I asked you to stick around for number 6, because number 6 is the reason I'm sitting right here in front of you. And it's the reason why a lot of people's wealth goes crazy after the first $100,000, but it doesn't have anything to do with the numbers. Number 6 is the psychological factor. In other words, when you have more money invested and you see these bigger and bigger returns and this bigger and bigger growth, guess what it does? It gives you a sense of motivation, a sense of accomplishment, right? You start to feel like, hey, I'm doing something. I can actually see the gains, right? When you've got $20,000 or $30,000 invested, you see swings of $2,000 and $3,000 and $5,000. Well, when you have $300,000 invested, you see swings of $20,000 and $30,000 and $50,000 and $70,000 quickly. And this can get you more motivated, more excited. And it's just human nature that when you start getting more motivated and more excited about investing, you'll tend to get more focused. You'll tend to be more motivated to continue to invest, right? And that helps your money skyrocket and take off even more. And so when you reach a significant milestone, like you got your first $100,000 invested, or the milestone of $500,000, $500,000, that can boost your confidence and inspire you to get even more serious about investing, which the outcome of that ultimately will be more money. And also, with more invested and more at stake, you might be a little more disciplined. And now with that increased discipline, guess what? Now you become more informed. You want to go out and learn more. You want to go out and get more information, right? So you can make other investment decisions, and you'll have a tendency, with more involved and more at stake, to not make some of those impulsive moves that you were making when you only had $30,000 or $40,000 invested. So this added motivation, this added discipline, this added information will have a positive effect on your overall investment portfolio. Hey, you're getting wiser, you're dealing with more information, and you're a more mature and seasoned investor by the time you get $500,000 or $600,000 invested. So basically, guys, your wealth or your net worth goes crazy after the first $100,000 because of a combination of things. Compound interest, right? The math itself. The more you have, the less time it takes to accumulate more money, and you build up your portfolio, build up your wealth faster. Not to mention consistent contributions on a regular basis, favorable market conditions, the advantage of just sheer size as your portfolio is bigger and bigger, and of course, the psychological factors, the motivation, the discipline, the maturity that comes with growing your money as your wealth gets bigger and bigger. These are the things that all contribute to the accelerated growth of your investment portfolio after reaching that first $100,000 mark. So do what you can do to get that first $100,000 invested fast. And the rest is going to be history. If you got any value at all out of this video, do me a favor and smash that like button for me and share this video with your people. Also, drop me a comment below. Let me know, have you seen this accelerated growth after your first $100,000? Let me know in the comments below. The best person who's going to take care of the old you is the young you. Take good care of yourself and take care of other people. Until the next video, peace.